The Unfiltered by Jay.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Kyla Williams Bell. We are here to speak about building financial freedom. Kyla is an author and a content creator for the channel From City to Soil, and she can tell us a little bit about that at the end of the show. So, hi Kyla.
Hello, Jade. How are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
I am great. Glad to talk to you. This is my favorite topic, so I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited also to have you. So we're going to jump into it. I want to know, what common financial mistakes do people make early in life?
Gosh, I believe the biggest mistake as people that we make is letting fear control our finances. Simply, that just means that when things get out of control, we tend to ignore the facts. When we're young, especially, it's extremely easy to say, I'll just worry about it later. When your finances make immediate, long-lasting effects on your life.
True. But what I mean, as we're taught as young persons, it's to enjoy your life while you're young, right? So you're not really thinking about the future because you're pretty much enjoying your life. So is that a mistake to not think about your financial future while you're young?
Is a mistake, in my opinion. I believe that that's kind of how adults tend to call people young and dumb. When young people are moving about their life and they're doing it carefree in a sense and they're not worried about their future, there's going to be a point eventually where you have to worry about it. And it's important to build a habit of taking care of your finances as soon as you have finances. I mean, a lot of people, especially I would say people who were born in the early 2000s, they were starting to work around 16 years old. I think this is common for a lot of people. From the time that you make your first check, it's really important to learn how to handle money. And that's not something that we learn as a culture.
This is different, especially where culture is concerned, because there are many 16-year-olds that are not working. A lot of 16-year-olds in different countries also are not working. So building a financial future at 16 is sometimes far-fetched for many persons, especially in different cultures.
That is extremely true. But as we look at the world today, especially when it comes to content creation and seeing young people get out there and putting their face in front of the world, people are getting checks for that. If they're not working at a grocery store or a retail store like maybe I have had in the past, or many of my core hats have had in the past, people are still making checks from just being fun and vivacious. And when you're doing that and you're not learning how to manage your finances, it tends to become a problem later on in life. And that's kind of what older people are telling us young folks, and we're not really paying attention to that.
Interesting. What budgeting strategies do you recommend for financial success?
Keeping it simple, making it manageable, Your budget is supposed to be a reflection of your everyday life. So if you care about yourself, if you are somebody that dabbles in self care and making sure that you're enjoying your luxuries of life, then you should have a budget at the very least. What you can do to have a great and simple budget is very simply just add up all your bills, put your money aside, even when it's a simple $20, just building that habit of saving something and subtracting it from what you will earn from the month. And that's how you can make your budget for the month. And that will set you up for financial success because you're knowing where your money is going. And that makes you have an advantage over thousands of people in the world.
Sounds good. How can someone balance saving for retirement while managing current expenses? Because with how the world is going, things are getting extremely expensive. So, how is it that we can manage making sure that we live a good life in terms of not necessarily just living above our means, but living a good life while ensuring that our retirement is safe?
For that, I would say that the first thing we can do as people is look at our current expenses. I mean, overall, the most important thing that you'll hear come from many people that care about their finances or are very interested in their finances is just knowing those numbers, right? And so, what I would say is look at your expenses, really see if anything is adjustable. So, you might have a family and you might say, my family time is extremely important to me. So, if you're very hard set about your time, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not getting another job. I'm not trying to find another way to make more income. I am going to see what I can take away from what I'm spending.
Okay.
Or if you may have the freedom of time and you know you can do a little bit more, you know that your bills are your bills and you can't really take away from that. And you say, hey, I can put in a little bit more hours. You might want to go out there and make a few extra bills. You know what I mean? And just really looking at your everyday life and saying, oh, geez, I'm really terrible at this one thing. I know personally for me, I love to eat. Eating out was
Right.
those big expenses that I had to take away from myself because when you're lazy and you don't feel like cooking, it's easier to say, hey, you know what, I'll just order out. And when you're ordering on the apps and stuff, it'll be, oh, hey, it's only $12 for this one bowl, right?
Right.
That's a lot, by the way, guys. $12 for one meal is a lot. But you check out and then all of a sudden your $12 bowl is $25. And a lot of people don't recognize that because it's very easy to do that. And a lot of people are doing that. And essentially, it's not a problem until it becomes your problem. So we just really have to look at ourselves and say, hey, what can we change and adjust that way so that we can live a happy life? Because we're not going to be any more happier than being financially free.
Love that. But I have a challenge. So, too many times we hear people saying, you know what, we work too hard to not enjoy ourselves. So, I work too hard to not enjoy that $12 bowl. I work too hard to be taking things away from my life. Why am I taking things away from my life instead of doing things and doing everything that is making me happy? No. Because if I don't enjoy my life, no, when am I going to enjoy my life? In retirement when I probably can't do a lot still? So what do you say to people who have that mindset in terms of live the life that you want and spend? Because, we only have one life, YOLO, right? So what would you say to people in terms of that mindset that they have?
I would say that the people that are saying, I only have one life are probably overindulging. And that's not a life that most people can live. If you're overindulging, that probably comes with a lot of problems like stress, depression, and a lot of feelings of being overwhelmed. And let's say that somebody is living free, they're living it up, they see something, they want it, they get it, right? Okay, cool. I have nothing against that. But my problem with that is that person financially safe?
Wow.
Okay. A lot of people are not able to do that. And that's just a simple case. If I can sit here and tell the world, hey, a $12 bowl is a lot of food, I love eating that $12 bowl. But I know that I can do something else with that $12. You know what I mean? Would I really be comfortable spending $200 a week on food? Even if it's $100 a week on food, there's 3 weeks in a month. What can I be doing with that $300? If I can go spend $55, $60, $100 a week on groceries that will give me many meals, meals that will take care of my body, meals that help me make sure I'm secure and I don't have that fear of poverty, I think I'm probably doing just as good as that person that says, hey, I see something and I want it. And just as a reminder, I don't know what that person had to do to get those things. So I'm just going to let them.
You're right. Yep, you're right. We don't know what the person did to get it. So focus on ourselves, basically. Focus on yourself and try to ensure that your future is safe.
Yeah, and you can still enjoy life now. I mean, this is something I discuss with my family all the time is you can spend your money however you want it, but it has to be money that you're able to spend. We have a habit of treating credit like it's debit, and that's a real problem. I mean, I've done it. Everybody's done it. And we really need to get over that system, that hump. If you have money that you want to spend, you got to be able to make sure that you have it first.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So ensure that the money that you're spending is not money that you need for anything. So if it is that you need to work overtime to get that extra money to spend to get what you need to get to enjoy life, you need to do that.
Exactly.
How should people approach paying off debt while still planning for the future?
Well, this actually brings us right back to what we were saying. I believe that paying off debt does not have to take away from your life at all as it is now and not from your future. Paying off debt is something that comes after taking care of your priorities. So let's say that you're planning to have a baby, or maybe you didn't plan to have a baby and oh my gosh, this is going to take up all my finances. Well, this goes back to my point of, well, you have to determine if you're more hard pressed on time or your ability to make a few extra bills. Are you in a partnership or are you doing this solo? So making sure that your obligations are met are probably going to be your absolute first priority. And that means if you know you have to pay a certain amount for a certain debt, make sure that you have it. If you only have a certain amount to put towards your future, make sure you do that. But make sure everything is okay as it now. That's all I can really say about that is you just have to make sure that everything has its place and not stress about the future right now. You know what I mean? Make sure that everything has its place because if you really want it, you're going to do it.
True. Very true. Very true. What's one piece of financial advice you wish more people followed?
That it's okay having less.
Woo, hold on.
It is okay to have less in life. I believe that now in this age of technology and connection and overconsumption and seeing people, we tend to see what somebody has, like we said earlier, and want that for ourselves. Well, that doesn't have to be your life. You can be your own individual person. I believe that people who overspend and overindulge and do all these things are trying to make sure they feel a certain way. Well, feel confident in yourself. That's probably the most important thing, to believe in yourself, believe in who you are, because the only person that you should be impressing is you. If you have somebody that's trying to pressure you into doing something or pressuring you to feel a certain way, do you really need them in your life? Your finances are yours and your life is yours only. And as far as I know, when you're going to the grave, you're going to be meeting one person, and that's God. And that relationship is between you and the Lord. And so people really have to make sure that Is your life really for you? That's really important.
Okay, okay. It's okay to have less. Thank you so much for that. Oh, that's a lot to take in. I think that was also, I needed to hear that. Thank you so much for even expounding on that and, giving us some backdrop even as to how to ensure that our future is safe. Because, sometimes we want to go overboard with shopping. Sometimes we want to do the most. You reminded us also that at the end of the day, we're not going with any of the things that we have. Right. So I know people want to enjoy things while here on earth and whatever you want to do that, but ensure also that the time that you have on earth here, you're prepared and you're providing and you're ensuring that the people you leave behind, especially your family, your kids,
Yes,
are taken care of. Those are important also to remember while enjoying. Sometimes we have to look up, do I need 10, do I need to go to Starbucks to buy 10 cups of coffee instead of just buying a machine at home and making my own coffee? It's cheaper.
exactly.
What can I do to eliminate some of the spending that I'm doing? You know?
Exactly. I love that point, especially. You can have all those things that you want, but make sure that it's not taking away from your life. As I said, I love food. And as an expense of that, I have a decision to cook more or to buy more.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
to make that more enjoyable for me, I might spend a little bit extra and get myself some fancy pots so I can enjoy being in the kitchen more. We have to pick and choose our battles, that's for sure.
For sure. For sure. And what people don't realize is you spend a lot of money on food, but when you cook, it lasts longer.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in the long run, you're actually saving more. So, I mean, just little things like that. Just do little things like that. And those things actually make a big impact on your finances and your pocket. You'll feel it, you'll see it. And you can even get more out of life, like owning your home, farming. You get more out of those things than just frivolous buying. So it
Ex-
does work out, it does add up. Yeah, it does. So thank you so much, Kyla, for that. I want you to tell persons where is it that they can find you.
Thank you so much. The best ways to find me are on LinkedIn. My name is Kyla Williams Bell, no hyphen, on LinkedIn. And I'm also having a YouTube channel. It's called From City to Soil. On that channel, I basically share with people my financial journey. I am human as well. I love finances, but as we know, life happens and we make mistakes. And so I'm also on the road to becoming financially free. And I'm hoping that people will join me and learn from that channel and just move forward and take some tips and becoming financially free on their own.
Love that. Love that. And your book, where can we find your book?
My book is on Amazon. It is ebook only right now, but it is called Young, Dumb, and Stable, which is basically a guide for young people or people who just never managed to get a grip on their finances and show them that they can live their best life by also having their best financial journey.
Love that. Love that. Thank you so much again for sharing your insights in terms of financial future and how to secure that and to make a stable foundation, not just for us, but our families and those people whom we take care of. So thank you. We appreciate you for sharing. And I want to say thank you to my listeners for continuing to listen to The Unfiltered by Jade. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.